Okay, we are live talking about Doctor Who today. Episode that was so boring that I forgot the episode.
Ghost Monument, which was the name for the prize of the space race, and the prize was the Doctor's TARDIS.
The TARDIS wasn't the prize, it was like the end flag, pretty much. When you
Pretty
saw the
much.
TARDIS, you knew you won.
Pretty much.
And the TARDIS makes biscuits now. That's awesome.
I kind of said my piece already in my own video on my channel. I haven't rewatched the episode in full since then. Yeah, it's a really premise. I feel kind of bad because now we can't do this premise again for a little while, and the worst thing is, like, I feel like in my own video I didn't really articulate what didn't work about it for me, and I still can't. Like, saying it's boring is just kind of the easy way out to me. Like,
It's the CGI blanket monsters, isn't it?
It's not that, though. I don't have a problem with those.
It is. Admit it.
There's just something about it.
Boring because it's like, there's really not much else to say. It didn't do anything for me, so it's just kind of, it wasn't the worst.
Generic and forgettable outside of the visual direction, which is gorgeous.
A lot better than the previous episode.
Yeah.
Which had this boring, generic, brown city look.
Yeah, it was like gray for me on my TV, but yeah, it was kind of boring. This one actually, the cinematography was good. Some of it, I will say, is good. There was a little bit too much, like the camera too close to their faces. They need to back out a little bit.
It's like they were filming close-ups, and the director was like, "No! Closer!"
The scenery shots all look nice, but like the people shots sometimes were just too close. I can see inside their pores. That's not a good thing, guys.
For an episode that's as boring as it is, there's a lot of action stuff that happens, action in it than either of the other two episodes, and yet I find both of them more interesting.
Action in Ghost Monument it just feels inconsequential.
You know what I think it is?
What?
I think Rosa and Ghost Monument have the exact same thing for me, and from what I've surmised from the few people who don't like Rosa, seems to be connected to the ending, the emotional climax of the episode, and I feel like it's the same for Ghost Monument. You rewrite the episode so that I buy the ending, where they're like joint winners, either we both win or neither of us win. If I buy that moment, then the whole episode becomes worth it, but I don't, so it isn't.
The competition is like, no. And then he goes, yes.
Yeah, that whole scene. If you can make that whole scene work, then I think the episode becomes way stronger.
The ending is really lame. They just kind of off screen just make peace, and they decide they're going to do this together, and then they threaten the bad guy, and I'm like, couldn't he just like shoot them down with some robots? This is really lame and just trying to wrap things up too fast.
Well, it's the shortest of the three that we have so far in terms of running time, right? So they could have used a couple more minutes. So when the doctor's like, I have a suggestion, it's not just out of nowhere. Like, hey, you two should make up. The two characters whose names I am forgetting.
They were that memorable.
Well, I wrote them down for the review that I recorded, but that was like a week ago, and I haven't looked at it since.
Probably recycled that piece of paper.
They have a rapport. There is like a dynamic between the two of them that could be kind of interesting. A couple of moments where one of them genuinely does something to help the other, or they express some kind of connection beyond just kind of this bitter rivalry that they have, or slowly build one over the course of the episode. I think there was time to do that. We just didn't do it.
That's the best way to put this episode. It's very simplistic.
Better if one of the racing contestants was Salad Man. And he just froze his salad at the hologram, like, eat my salad.
Yes. It's like, I will find you and I will annoy you. Yeah, I just think this is just a really just bland, okay, we're trying to do a space adventure to show, because they usually do this, like every single like new showrunner. Usually do episode on the Earth where he or she gets her companions, and they do a space travel episode to show what they can do with the sci-fi.
Then it goes into the past. It's what we did with the first 3 episodes in Russell's era, and it's what we did with the first 3 episodes in Moffat's era. The next showrunner needs to change it up and be like, no, we're going to have first episode of the past, and then the future, and then the present.
We almost do that by companion, right? That's what we do with Rose. That's what we do with Martha. It's what we do with Amy.
Yeah.
Let me remember, is it also what we do with Clara and Donna? I don't think so.
Clara, yeah, they did it when she first became like a main
Well,
companion. First, they did the rings with her, which is space episode, and they did the
with,
Cold War, which is a time episode.
with Martha and Donna, they did the historical episode first, and then they went into the future.
Yeah, but you're right. It always follows that pattern. That's so weird. Of those episodes, I think Rosa is probably unquestionably the best. The only one that it's maybe struggling against, I think, is Fires of Pompeii.
The Pirates of Pompeii had a very emotional core to it about how the Doctor can't really
Something.
interfere in big historical events.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to Rosa in a minute. Let's get this masterpiece done.
Yeah, I've said all I have to say about Ghost Monument. If you've got anything else, then
Let me think. I don't think so. And like I said, it's just a bland first outing for a new showrunner. This is probably the weakest have like the space travel episode.
I mean, I haven't seen The Beast Below.
It's not great, but it does have some interesting things in it.
Better than what most people would tell you. It's not that bad, despite how people make a big deal out of how bad it is.
Yeah, it's not bad. It has some bad elements, but for the most part, it's decent.
I'd say this is on par with something like New Earth, where it's like they both utterly pale in comparison to a Gridlock or
The End of the World.
I don't know. I haven't seen The End of the World in a long time, like even longer than The Beast Below, so I feel utterly unequipped to judge that one.
I mean, that one was a really fun episode, especially seeing Rose react to all of these aliens that are all unique. And she's just like, this is too much.
Yeah, that one was probably the strongest out of this, beginning showrunner space episodes.
You guys commented for the record about the new opening sequence.
I really like it.
I was just wondering, am I high again?
Yeah.
It's a cool opening.
It's very colorful. It's very just, I don't know, it just looks very fancy. But oh yeah, and the TARDIS. We have to talk about the new TARDIS.
It is not to my taste. It may grow on me.
I know what the Fifth Doctor would say if he was there. What's this one, Coral?
I think I figured out what was like bugging me about it because I do like it. They did something different, but it looks too small.
You're right. It does seem like a way smaller set than we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no stairs for starters. There's no like under level that 11 and 12 both had. And also the lighting doesn't help in that regard, where if you light a room dark enough, it just makes it look smaller than it is.
Almost like a cave.
Yeah.
It's a Time Lord cave.
Yeah.
Especially since there's 4 people in it.
Yeah. I know with Davis was a little like, it was just big for the sake of being big. Like it just had a bunch of empty space around.
I mean, Davies, he had to work around the fact he only had enough in the budget to build a half TARDIS set. You only saw one side of it.
But anyway, I mean, it's not probably grow on me over time, but it's right now I feel like it just looks too small and it's making me feel uncomfortable and cramped, especially with 4 people on the show now. So
run in there and press a button just to get the Doctor to flip out.
Yep.
I'd be like, no, don't press the button. That's the self-destruct.
But yeah, I think we're done talking about this episode.